Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's edition of the Crossroads here on Veterans Anonymous. I'm Combat Cricket, and I just got a sudden burst of energy. I think that my blood type might be part Red Bull. I'm Combat Cricket, coming from Colorado. Jade Lopez, former 31 Bravo military police, and your best friend.
No, well, I missed it. I'm sorry.
Well, this is not scripted whatsoever. Little Army Natty Guard, little time in Iraq, little time in Haiti, and I swear my dog is on a never-ending mission of trying to kill me. We'll get to that saga. It's been an adventure of a week, and it's only getting started. Miss Kittens.
Hi, I'm Jenny. I am a connoisseur of crafts. Try that out for size. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I go to college online, and I'm an Air Force veteran.
And also an Air Force dependa. You're dual.
Yeah, I'm a vet penda.
Yeah.
Uncle Si.
Uncle Si, Dave, Army veteran, Guard, Reserves, active duty, individual, active guard. Pretty much, if the Army had it, I did it. Just hanging out with you guys.
And joining us from the future, Ducky.
Yes, good morning. It's Ron Burgundy here. And I won't finish that next one. I am not reading off a teleprompter.
Go fuck yourself.
Australian Navy vet, 13 years, coming from Adelaide, South Australia. So,
Thank you.
got out coming up in 11 days, 4 years ago.
Congratulations.
Jeez.
Yeah. I still can't believe it's 4 years.
Well, and I was even thinking about it the other day. I was like, y'all, I've been out 9 years now. I'm getting old.
Thanks for that, Jade.
Well, you're very
I wasn't
welcome.
going there.
I'm over here about to turn 30 going, oh, God, I have wrinkles, and I'm about to turn 30.
I got out in 2000. I got out before a lot of people got in.
The problem with this guy is he joined in the Crusades.
I've even said it. It's like splitting the Red Sea is not service connected.
But at least we didn't have to worry a reflective PT belt.
Hey, don't change lives.
Yes, they keep you safe. You can't get hurt if you're wearing a reflective belt.
I know how we try not to get political. This isn't. I think that meme about showing all the Taliban around the Army equipment and not one PT belt anywhere.
I know. I was gonna say something. It was like, obviously nothing's gonna work. They don't have PT belts. Duh.
They also didn't have a shifting spanner.
I don't know what that is.
A mallet.
A what?
A mallet.
Mallet?
A BFH.
Okay.
Doing the whole Russian spy thing over from James Bond and start the car with a sledgehammer. As you can tell by the moustache, I'm actually doing a bit of fun over the weekend. What it is we've got the local Volkswagen Club meeting, and we're also going to be doing scare night. So I'm one of the people that is doing the scaring. Hey, Michael. And what I'm actually doing is
you're gonna have a white wall, a desk, and a black couch. That's
I'm doing Wolf Creek.
Don't know what that is.
Wolf Creek is a movie that came out a fair few years ago. It's basically a guy out in the middle of the Australian outback that shoots bushwalkers and outback individuals that cause him harm, i.e. he also does shoot a couple of cops. So, yeah, so the movie is out there. It's a few years old now. It's actually probably 2-3 years old now. At least, actually. It's probably in the early...
5.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
You know what you know what you remind me of? It finally dawned on me. Have you ever seen the Meet the Robinsons movie from Disney? You could be the bowler hat guy's dad.
I was
Absolutely.
thinking you put him in some like red overalls. He could be Mario.
It's Mario.
So
I'm here to clean your pipes.
no, you want to know the funny thing? Here we go. The funny thing is that I used to do this with a mate of mine in the Navy, and we were very similar. He was a lot chubbier than me, and we used to dress up. Yeah, that guy. So I've got the hat ready, and I'm going to scare the Volkswagen Association. I'm looking forward to it because a member of the Volkswagen Association is my best mate's mum and dad.
Oh, fun! Yeah.
So what happened?
There's another one.
Well, first time.
Takes one Navy guy to know another Navy guy. Just saying, Mike.
Absolutely. But no, going back to the mate, my mate and myself actually dressed up like Mario and Luigi. I was Luigi. I've still got the green hat.
That's funny.
And
my son and nephew were Mario and Luigi because they're like 3 weeks apart. Had to like paste a little mustache on him. It was the cutest damn thing ever.
Yeah, so I ended up doing that. We did that many years in a row, and now he's got a daughter over in Western Australia, and I've got my 4 kids here. So
you get you a pair of those mirrored Georgia State Patrol glasses, and you get a leather hat. You could be like 1/5 of the freaking Village people almost.
Well, if you really want me to play the Village people, I could. I've got my whites out there ready to go.
They do sing the song in the Navy. Just saying.
In the Navy.
Hey, I've heard it all before anyway. So.
Well, see, I grew up during that anti-disco era, and so like when the Village people came out and they like got on American Bandstand, all of us like pre-teens were just like, "What the hell is this?" And then they sang the song in the Navy, and I looked at my dad. My dad's like, "Yeah, the Navy's a little nuts, kid. Don't worry about it, you know."
Welcome to my world.
Yeah.
Hey, put it this way: when I was 18, I decided to go to Rocky Horror Picture Show dressed up as Rocky.
I love that movie. I did that one year, and I got in trouble.
I've done that before. I've also gone to people's houses that had a Rocky Horror Picture Show in their unfinished basement, so it was easier to clean up. Yeah, and went full costume. Yeah.
I showed that movie to my husband for the first time last year, and the look on his face when he comes out in the outfit was priceless, because he's just like, I thought this was a horror movie because I love it. I go, well, it is. It's just a very flamboyant one.
It kind of is.
Yes.
I know. I had no idea what the hell my parents were showing me. They're just like, "This is a good movie." I'm like, "Y'all are fucking weird."
Well, put it this way: I ended up going off to that one, and I had the cheat sheet. I had a blue light, so it did not disturb anyone. I did not read in red. I had a very dull blue light with the cheat sheet, and I was yelling all of the extra lines.
Right.
For the movie, and everyone around me was in hysterics because here I am, just one kid just yelling stuff at the screen.
Oh, yeah. I remember the first time I went to it was like high school or right after, like late 80s. And that was when colleges, the movie theater real close to a college campus, would have a midnight showing of the Rocky Horror.
Yes.
And I went there the first time just dressed like I normally do. And I see people dressed up as like, you know, I didn't know they were characters of the movie at the time. And I was like, what the heck is going on here? And then during the movie, when like rice started throwing and water and other stuff, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I'm not high enough for this. You know?
Here's the thing. Aren't all chaps assless?
Yes. Otherwise, they're just assless pants. All chaps are assless.
I know it's funny to say assless chaps, but it's just like chaps are already assless.
Right.
Sorry, I've got all my 4 kids home today. The school decided that they were going to have a pupil-free day today and tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I hear.
So-
I hear you guys are having new stuff happen with the COVID down there.
Not really. That's the kettle should be already boiled. The thing is that the COVID is in is on the East Coast, so in New South Wales and Victoria.
Oh, okay.
So it's not really affecting myself. It's more affecting New South Wales and yes, throwing the toilet paper, but it's usually the newspaper as well. But funnily enough,
That's another
the Australian Capital Territory, which is where Canberra is, which is all the parliamentarians, so the governors and everything of Australia, they turned around and said, "Oh, we're not in lockdown because we don't have it here," thinking that they've got an invisible force field.
Yeah.
How stupid were they? We turned around and we've gone, you're surrounded by what is called New South Wales. How on earth did you expect not to catch COVID?
Well, like a lot of it, like here in the States, New York and Pennsylvania border each other. They closed liquor sales in New York or in Pennsylvania, but you can still drive into New York to get liquor to come back to Pennsylvania with. You know, because COVID knows state boundaries. COVID knows time limits, or you know, you got to wear a mask to go into a restaurant, but once you sit down at the table, you can pull the mask off.
It doesn't exist when you're eating. Didn't you know that?
Oh yeah.
It just stops. It disappears because you're putting food in your body.
And it stops at 10 o'clock so they can close the bars. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever. Get the shot, don't get the shot. Wear a mask, don't wear a mask. It's about your choice. That's all I'm going to say about that.
The only thing that I will say that made any sense, because the fact that it makes no sense makes sense. But so the whole thing with like the bars and stuff like that, they were thinking, or the way that they were thinking was that because the later the night goes on, the more intoxicated people become more relaxed and mingle and not restrict whatever. That kind of made a little sense to me, but it's just like
but each state had their own time limit.
Exactly.
Like one state was 10 o'clock, one state was midnight, one state was 2 a.m. It's like COVID knows state limits and time. Come on.
I just wanted to go to the bar and just go dancing.
Yeah.
And I couldn't. I was like, I feel like I'm in a bad episode of Footloose.
Wasn't there places that said no dancing?
Yeah, so I went down to the strip to meet up with a TikTok friend, and we went to a country bar, and I wanted to dance, and thankfully they had a live band, so we were able to sit with our drinks and listen to the live band, but there was no dancing at all. I was like,
they were doing that for weddings too. Certain places weren't allowing dance floor. It's like you can't even have your first dance at your wedding. It's like, oh yeah, you spent all your time and money and planning for you to have this wonderful wedding, and then oh yeah, by the way, your guest list is now a third.
Yeah.
You have to move it outside. There's no dancing. Like it's just like all these crazy. It's just crazy.
Well, and like I said, if COVID is real. I'm not going to deny that. It's not the hype that people are saying. And if it was, they would have had a national mandate, not a state-by-state mandate. Like, you know, Iowa will close the bars at midnight, but New York's going to do it at 10 o'clock. You know? Oh, I dance in my house, too. My cat looks at me like I'm nuts.
Well, Jenny dances outside just to impress her neighbors.
I've been moving some of my videos in the house because it's just been too hot. So
I don't blame you.
House too. My husband there for a while when he was teleworking and I was filming my videos inside. You can't see him because of where I position the camera, but he's just sitting there watching me filming my video while shaking his head. Like, don't judge me.
Yeah, exactly.
Just look at him and go, "You picked me. Don't forget that."
I do. I remember that.
Hang on, you put something in me. Thank you.
I follow a nurse on TikTok. He is hilarious. and he had these filters that like were having different characters of types of nurses and stuff. And then of course like the filters time out or whatever. So now he went out and bought a bunch of wigs to play these characters, which are different type of nurses and stuff like that. And it's hilarious because it's dead on. My mom's been a nurse for over 20 years, and when I worked hospital security, working around nurses here, and then military nurses and stuff like that. He is spot on with his impressions and stuff like that. But when he did his whole like wig debut video, I'm just kind of like, oh my god, to be his wife or to just be a fly on the wall watching him create these characters with his wig flying around, and he is so sassy.
When I first started watching Jen's TikToks, I was like, oh man, her neighbor's got to be like, hey dude, come here, she's getting ready to do it again. You know, I'd just be watching out the windows with my buddies, be like, dude, check this girl out, this shit's hilarious.
I'm pretty sure that happened.
It did. I was in the middle of filming one of my Crunchy Freestyle Friday launch type videos, and I hear a snicker, and I'm like, what the hell? That's a new sound. And so I pull out the mask, and my neighbor is standing over the wall with his phone, and he made eye contact, and he like boom ran into the house. And I'm still standing there like, the fuck?
Yeah, what just happened?
And you know the problem with that was the conversation for him was, hey, she's doing it again. I've got to get it on camera.
Yeah,
because every
I'm
single
not
time
crazy.
I tell you about it, she's not doing it.
Yeah, and that's how it turned out. Is I finally worked up the nerve. They're potheads, but it's legal here. So I made some food, and I brought food over, and I knocked on their door, and I was like, hey. So about what happened in the yard, he goes, no, I deleted the video, and he pulls out his phone. See, I deleted it. He goes, I just had to show my family that it's not the pot.
Yeah.
That it's actually happening.
And us potheads love food. You can bring us anything.
Yeah.
We don't care. Pretty much. Yeah.
We
now
need to actually add some of her TikTok videos of her with her masks and dancing and tutus. Y'all, if you're not on TikTok and you don't know what we're talking about, I know we sound crazy. But
no, what's crazy is the TikTok that I sent Jenny this morning. Well, tonight. It was geese, all dressed up in tutus.
Yeah.
I sent it to Jenny. That was that one I looked at, and I'm like, that's accurate.
That would have been funny, John, as if he was like doing a TikTok of Jenny doing a TikTok.
That's what I thought he was doing. And he's like, no, I'm not even on the app. He's like, I just needed to show my family that it's not the drugs, the weed is fine, and that you really are running around. Because all they see over the brick wall is the top of the mask bouncing around. and it finally piqued their interest enough of like, what the hell? Because they hear the song play a couple times. They hear the tink, tink, tink of the countdown timer. They're like, they finally got curious enough to grab a chair and stand to see what was happening.
That'd be hilarious. Be like, look, elephant ears. Look, horse ears. Look, what the heck?
Well, they could occasionally, they'd see the horse mask because, like, when I jump up, there's a horse. Whose horse is that?
Could you imagine the cop being called and going, they've got wild animals next door. There's a horse, there's a unicorn, there's a hippo.
Well, and I totally can understand him. Like the first couple times it happened, he probably looked at his weed and went, holy crap, I need more of this. You know. Then when it happened repeatedly, he's like, okay, maybe it's not the weed. maybe she's got good weed, you know.
Michael,
talk about us that way.
Michael got me hooked on dad jokes. There's people that will say dad jokes to try to get the other person to laugh on TikTok, and I'm addicted to those. I've watched so many of those, and they crack me up. I love them. They're cheesy.
He sent me that one. I think one of the last ones I got to watch. Our dad jokes.
Yes.
I've been slacking.
I reckon
on
what we should do is in a couple of weeks or whatever, we should do a dad joke off to see who laughs. How cool would that be? Just have a whole list of dad jokes off to the side.
having
And
the
I'll always
actors
laugh.
and stuff like that going back and forth and who laughs.
Yes.
Yeah,
That'd be
and
interesting.
do a scorecard. Like put a scorecard up in the corner and go, oh yeah, who laughed at that one and who didn't?
Before we get too deep, is there anybody in the audience that wants to join for Family Feud if you guys are available to do that later tonight? That'd be kind of fun, I think.
I already pulled that one up.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. It's
I don't know.
fun.
It's getting kind of iffy with TikTok now. They're doing some weirdness over there, just like they were doing on F-Book.
Yeah, true.
My TikTok like freaked out. It was a couple days ago that it like freaked out, kept closing. I'm like, well, what the hell did I do? So I'd like restart my phone because I'm horrible about restarting it. So restart my phone, and then it kept closing itself. And then when it finally, because after a while I just left it alone, and after a while, like I tried again, and it was just like all my videos were gone, and then all my videos had 0 views, and then it just was fine.
TikTok
like-
glitches a lot.
I know,
Yeah.
so it's like that glitchiness, but at the same time too, it's like, well, there's a lot of people being banned right now that it's just like, who did I upset now? You know,
Well, yeah, you know, like Fiegel got
who
it.
did I piss off?
Felix got the ban hammered. Fiegel got the ban hammered. I mean, there's a lot of, you know, big time TikTokers that are getting freaking nailed for just nothing, you know.
Well, that's the thing is a lot of the trolls are coming in and just doing one report with 3 accounts.
Right.
And
Oh
that's,
my god!
I wasn't sure if you were going to pull that one up, and then I was like, oh, wait till she reads it.
and she just got it as well. She just realized.
We do have like everyone that tends to check in on our audience.
Oops.
Well, if we're going to go R-rated.
No, we have a minor.
Her dad does know that. Well, her dad's I believe a Marine, but
Oh, if her dad's a Marine, she's used to. She's heard way worse than anything.
but still not my
We
child.
keep it
So
PG-13.
we attempt to keep it okay-ish.
Ish.
We push that line a little bit, like because we wouldn't be us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the best thing is like Jen said it earlier on TikTok and that. It's just amazing to think that 5 years ago we would not be able to do this.
Yeah.
We would not, like, there was always conference calls and video chats and that, but now we can do it publicly and record it and release it. So, so, and that's the thing is it's just amazing of the way that everything has moved forward over the last years. And now we can do stuff like this. We can sort it out and make sure everyone's happy and healthy and making sure that everyone's okay. Because down here in Australia, we actually have Are You OK Day.
Nice.
And so it's all
Well, if you
trying
do
to
tap
raise
out,
awareness.
have a good night, Michael.
Yeah. So what it is it's basically trying to get awareness for mental health and everything, even though I think we're fully aware of mental health, but we need to actually start focusing on getting the treatment that is required.
Well, not just with veterans. I'll say this too: the mental health industry, or the awareness of mental health in everybody.
Yes.
We need to start doing a lot more on that. That's yeah.
We need people to actually take action. That's the thing is when I was first on TikTok and everything, there was a couple over in Melbourne who went into lockdown, out of lockdown, in lockdown, and everything else. And during that time, I was watching him and I was seeing triggers of mental health problems. And it got to a day where he didn't post anything. and it got to 12 hours and he hadn't posted anything. He got to 13, 14, 15, and 15 hours, and then it got to 18 hours, and I'm like, he's usually been either live or posted something today. He's posted nothing. What's going on?
Right.
And that's when my alarm bells went, because I was fairly much in the same sort of situation. I was stuck at home doing nothing. And I've gone, there's something wrong. Tried to contact him. He didn't message back. And then it got over 24 hours.
Damn.
And then he put up a post going at 32 hours. He put a post up. Hey, for everyone trying to reach me, yes, I am okay. I just had a day off. I went fishing. Sorry for those that messaged saying that or wondering what was going on.
Right.
I went fishing. I should have responded saying, yes, I'm all good, but I didn't. So, and you can imagine, like, you end up having a relationship like we have now.
Right.
And you go,
Well, that's
hey,
exactly it. Like how I've met you, Ducky, and like and Kittens too. I know
Well,
that Kittens served with Felix, and I knew Felix, but I met Felix through doing this on Facebook. And he even told me, he's like, hey, like, you need a TikTok. And I'm like, well, whatever, dude.
Yeah, and I've been like, I started doing the Facebook with veterans groups, and then slowly it's evolved into this. And there's been a bunch of times where, like, at the time I didn't realize it. I got those calls like, you know, hey, blah blah blah, and then the next day we find out the bad news. You know, or I've been that person where I'm not posting enough, and people are hitting me up going, hey man, usually you post this and you haven't. You all right? What's going on? You know, and that's great, but we got to start doing that more, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will say something that like you were saying with like TikTok and stuff like that. There are some people that I've followed, because when I joined, I started following like a bunch of canine handlers and firemen and nurses and military especially, and like kind of figuring out the app and stuff like that, that there are people that consistently post. And then when you don't see them, you kind of were like,
yeah. Yep.
And then you figure out like, oh, if you're or you can message them or something like that. It's like with Fiegel with the recall roster and stuff like that. He had a pretty big following before he met his band, but like he's even still getting it back just because the recall roster is amazing.
Yeah,
well,
it is.
Like Felix started another TikTok account, Barbecue Sauce 2. So if we can get everybody that followed him on the first one to follow on the second one, then he can go back to live too, you know. But yeah, like when Felix had problems before he went to Sacred Mountain, he stopped doing a lot of his lives and his TikToks and stuff. And I hit him up, and you know, he hit me up, and the next day we sat and talked on the phone for like 2 hours. And then a couple days later, he made appointments, would talk to his shrink, you know, but didn't realize it at the time. He'll tell you how close he was, you know. But yeah, you just got to watch out for things and people that are different from the norm. That's why I tried, like, I'm in a veteran group on Facebook, and every morning, no matter what, I tell them morning. And then at night, I do a Skittle calls, and I've got a couple of names that I, you know, tell them to make sure to take their fucking Skittles, because one gal almost died because she didn't take her heart medicine. And I was like, look, I'm going to remind you, you know, and I've been doing it for like 3 years, I think. Every night there's like 5-10 people I tell Skittles, you know.
You mother bitch.
When I didn't do it for a while, everybody was like, are you okay? I haven't gotten a Skittles call. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. My bad. I forgot. You know, I'm at the bar and
I'm drunk.
You know, yeah, I was really drunk and totally spaced it off that night. Yeah.
Can y'all see that in the chat?
Which one?
I just flooded it on all of our places that were.
No, I don't see anything.
No,
I was trying to put Felix's backup account.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is check your internet, you mother bitches.
I got banned for a picture of a chick in a bikini on the curbside saying the best thing about a dead hooker, the second hour is free. From over 9 years ago. Okay, 9 years
there
ago.
it is, I think. Or did you do
That
that?
was me. I did it.
Yeah, 9 years ago, I got that meme off of Facebook. But
And I
9 years
misspelled it
later,
anyway.
it's offensive.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the thing is there's just so
I
many
got a
people that
post ban. They deleted my post, and I got I thought it was a 24-hour ban, but it was just a few hours where I couldn't post anything, but I could like and comment.
Right.
You're posting my opinion on the Texas law shit that's going down, and nobody even liked or commented. It was just zip. I got zapped.
Felix
And I
got
was just
banned.
like, what the hell?
Felix got a ban, and they don't tell him when he can go back to doing lives. It's just you're banned.
Yeah, it seems like there's no like leeway or learning curve really. It's like when
There's no way to actually appeal either. It's just a button. Instead of being able to plead your case or explain anything, it's just like a check yes or no. Do you want to appeal? Yes. Okay, send.
Because he found out the hard way when he like was leaving his truck on live and a certain shape was detected.
Yeah.
You know, and that was when he was really first starting out with his lives and stuff like that. That is being held against him now. So like I said, it was like there's no the learning curve as far as it goes, like and it's just it's not just TikTok, it's Facebook, it's Twitter and all this other shit.
There's like 3,000 pages of things that you would need to read through, and who can remember all of that to be like, okay, I can't do this because I'll violate. Oops, I can do. Nope, I can't do that. My bad. You know.
They're vague.
The one
They're
video
so
that
vague.
I had taken down was a thin red line flag. I duetted with somebody that it was showing firemen that were just pretty much, they were like regrouping themselves and crying because they had just helped somebody that I don't believe made it through that was young.
I'm sorry, I read Mike's comment.
I don't, there was no names, there was nothing graphic or anything like that. It was just pretty much showing the humanity of firemen, EMS, and a thin red line flag. And that was by community violations, and it still hasn't been put back up.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like we're trying now to support all of those marvelous like first responders. We're trying to support all of the Defence Force members and things like that. Another guy that I follow that is over in the another guy that I follow is Gray the Bushy. He's a big advocate of mental health. He joined the army, but after his initial training of our recruit training, he actually left the army and was actually told by the army that he can come back, but he never did due to personal reasons. But then that's back in the early 2000s when that happened. And he ended up there, or he's gone off as a mechanical engineer, worked in the mine sector here in Australia, and only just retired recently from that. And he has been wanting to do a thing called Walkabout here in Australia with veterans as well as first responders. And it's a great cause. It's just the fact that because of COVID, it's screwed everything up and we can't really do much.
Right.
So,
well, and a lot of people, that's why veterans, a lot of times when they get out, they go into law enforcement or firefighting or EMT because it's a similar feel and it's a camaraderie that kind of reminds you of that military bond. And, when you're a fireman and you rush into a burning building, is no different than when you're opening a door and rushing into a, booby trap, so yeah. Well, like we talk about it on here and you've heard that, let me pull it up. Shameless promo and plug for them. They're having a golf outing this weekend. There was a motorcycle club in California that donated $10,000 or they sponsored 10 teams. I can't remember what. But yeah, so And it's for law enforcement, veterans, Gold Star family members, even too. Hey, Ducky, do you guys got a similar Gold Star program down there, or do you know what that is?
Not. I don't think as much. Like, we've got the white card and gold card.
Okay.
For Department of Veteran Affairs, and we do have. There are programs that are out and about that you can attend, but a lot of it is not known about. When I left the Defence Force 4 years ago, I went looking for things like this, and they turned around and said, "Oh, we don't have anything." And I've turned around and I've gone, walkabout like Crocodile Dundee? No, this well, part of it, yes, actually. The walkabout that we were going to be doing was going to be going through Western Australia. And that is down the south, so Albany way, where the first Anzac service was held. Going out through the bush, going out to some sacred sites, because Grey the Bushy is actually part Aboriginal.
Oh, and Anzacs were pretty badass back in the day, Aussies, weren't they?
Yes. Well, actually, Anzac is Australian and New Zealand Army Corps.
Okay.
So it's Australia and New Zealand. Now, the running gag with the Australians versus the New Zealanders are the fact of we go in and we take over. The New Zealanders just come in behind and hold the fort. So,
yeah, like okay,
we
Mike.
kind of see that with Marines and Army.
Yeah, or
Air Force just transports us.
Yeah. And Mike, the Gold Star thing, Ducky, if you don't know, like if you're a family that's lost a person in combat, you can get a little flag that has a gold star. If you're unfortunate enough to have two, then you get 2 stars. Blue stars, I think, I'm not positive, but then I think a blue star is you have a member currently serving in a combat zone. There's different colored stars that go in these little red bordered flags that back in like World War II, you hung them in your window. And people going by your house would see that and know, oh, they lost somebody in war, or they have somebody in the war.
Oh, okay. No, we don't have anything like that down here in Australia. But I do know during the World Wars and everything else, some of the wives who were lonely ended up putting a box of washing liquid.
Oh no! Yeah, that's
called
still
Omo.
American military does that too, or it's something with a broom for the pineapple people.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So the name brand, I can see Cricket is going, what the hell is this? The name brand is Omo, and the the acronym was Old Man Out. In other words, if someone knocked on the door looking for some fun, they were allowed.
In the States, among the military community, usually means they're swingers.
I was just gonna say swingers.
I've been on
a white rock in their front yard as well, for like identifies a household as vanilla.
Every rock on Fort Carson was painted white. Every rock on Fort Carson in the like married area with the housing was painted white with their building number on it. I'm just realizing this, going, oh my God. Fort Carson is like swinger central for the freaking Army.
Yeah.
I missed out on so much fun.
Do you know, like Trinidad, right? Trinidad, that's not completely far away from Fort Carson.
When we went down to Pinion Canyon Maneuver Site, PMC, we blew right through Trinidad because of that. It was like, oh, fuck no, I ain't stopping.
Trinidad explains so much.
Trinidad was, I don't know if it still is, but it was known for the most like transitioning type surgeries.
Yep. At one time, Trinidad, Colorado was the transition surgery from female to male or male to female.
Yeah. And of
the United States.
So wow. We really are that surprised about Colorado Springs, Fort Carson?
That's why.
Not to
Yes,
mention-
because I've never been there.
Well,
Whenever
not to mention, we live at over a mile high above sea level, so we lack oxygen to the brain.
oh, you're really
Just saying.
hurt. You're really hurting then, Jade. You need all the oxygen you can get.
Ugh. Not to like all this wild, like squirrel moment, but like this wildfire freaking smoke has been the worst probably today. That before, like where I was telling you, like I feel like I'm gonna break a rib because I've been coughing so much. The smoke has been worse than that
Ugh.
today.
Ooh.
I
So
saw they showed a fire
my
map
lungs
on
are on fire.
on the Weather Channel, and it was like Washington, Oregon, and most of Idaho was just fire. You know, it was like, this is just fire up here in the United States. Don't worry about that. No big deal.
Well, and the thing with it is that even though like we're really not that much on fire right now, but the way that the
Yeah,
The
smoke
valleys.
moves in,
all that wind
Yeah.
coming right on in.
and
Yeah.
it comes over the mountains, and then it just sits on
Mm.
top of us until it like slowly moves out, and it's just like and then more fires pop up, and I just want to breathe.
Yeah. Well, here in Adelaide, we've actually got what's called Flinders Ranges. So, as in the explorer of Australia, someone Flinders, named these ranges, and they stretch all the way up from pretty much the hills down near Moana and things like that, and it stretches all the way up through the coast and up to the top of South Australia, pretty much. And so, as soon as the smoke comes up over the hills, it's basically got the sea winds coming at it, and then the smoke comes in over the hills, and it gets stopped. Yes, he's getting the atlas.
I'm amazed that you have one. That's actually pretty
And
awesome.
in reaching distance.
Exactly.
Basically, I'm in my library. I've got shelves with all my books and other stuff on it, like, you know, a
I was
globe.
gonna say, we need to like almost make Ducky a slide that he would be
Yes.
able to like kind of explain
All right, so
the areas.
where are you at, Ducky, on Australia?
Pretty much, if you move your finger to the right just a tiny bit.
Okay,
So
New South
stop.
Wales. Okay.
That's New South Wales, but if you go across, you'll see the foot on the bottom of the map. So move your finger down. Okay, that's Western Australia. Go to the centre. That's the Great Australian Bight.
Okay.
Then you've got Eyre Peninsula. Then York Peninsula that looks like a bit like a foot. And then you got the Fleurieu Peninsula. And the Fleurieu Peninsula is...
I see.
Yeah. The Fleurieu Peninsula is the Flinders Ranges.
Okay.
See if he even notices. Hey, show him.
Yeah, he's talking about like right down here.
I don't know why did it go to the other side. That's weird. Weird.
Yeah. So as you can see there, you can see that we've also got the largest salt lake in the southern hemisphere as well. Here in South Australia, it's called Lake Eyre. And
Question.
Yes.
So you're saying southern hemisphere was like comparable to Great Salt Lake here. Do you know if there's...
Yes, it's smaller than that one. Only just.
Oh, it is smaller?
Okay.
That's the reason why I said the southern hemisphere.
Well, that I know. That's what it's like,
So-
because I heard it, and then when you said southern hemisphere, it's like, well, now I'm kind of curious, because last year I actually went to Great Salt Lake for the first time ever, and it is just it's humongous. Like it's insane. Like I don't like big bodies of water, and I know that I was in a landlocked state, and this big ass body of water was no go.
Yeah. Well, funnily enough, during the desert wet season, which is usually around summer, or it's actually coming out of winter right now, it's going to end up Lake Eyre often floods because it's such a low land mass. And what it does is it floods, and that's where a lot of sea life actually lives. for really weird reasons because of the high salt content.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's amazing to see that a lot of the water birds and everything actually fly there, breed, and then take off again.
Oh, migration. Yeah. Yeah, cool.
So, and that's also because where Lake Eyre is located, the closest town or the closest major town is called William Creek. There is literally an airfield, a medical centre, and a pub. That is it.
Look at the pub.
Gotta have the bar.
Got to have the bar.
Kittens, I want you to say creek.
Hey? William Creek.
Crick.
Crick.
Creek.
Crick.
It's double E.
Okay.
No, it's
But
crick.
the word is crick.
See,
You both say it that way?
we're both
Yeah.
Iowans.
Iowa.
It's crick.
Just like it's Wally World, not Walmart. You say
Of
washer
course, I always say Wally World.
or washer.
Washer.
Yeah,
Washer.
washer.
Clothes washer, clothes dryer.
Like, as I noticed, you said crick like on a couple weeks ago, and I meant to like. Did you mean to say it though? I'm not
Yes.
saying
Yeah.
creek.
Yeah, but our
Yeah, I say
major, yeah, like yeah, okay. What about Coober Pedy? Coober Pedy is the biggest single hole in South Australia.
That's what
Because what it is that Coober Pedy is where we get all of the opals from in South Australia. And a lot of the single owners will drill down to find the opals to sell. Now, unfortunately, there's a sign up there saying, do not walk backwards, deep shafts around.
It gets better. Australia's biggest hole that has deep shafts. Come on, the jokes write themselves.
Exactly.
Shaft.
Holes.
Yes.
Big holes.
Sorry, that would be my eldest boy asking to borrow my iPad.
Oh. All good.
So yeah, no, I've travelled around to South Australia and everything else, and I absolutely love being down here. One of the because in Coober Pedy, it's so hot on the surface, people have actually dug down and live in what we call dugouts, and they live under the ground.
Smart idea.
And you can imagine we end up having so many people, like we have so many holes and everything else with the deep shafts. You never know what's going to be in the bottom of them. So,
I am a professional.
but yeah, other than that, one of the places I absolutely loved up in Coober Pedy was the Dugout Cave. It was the Dugout Bar. Absolutely amazing. And they ended up having bearded dragons there.
Cool.
Those things are so cool.
Yeah. We used to,
We're talking about the same creature.
Yes. Well, we used to play, we used to have, there was 4 in the bar, and they would just run around loose, did not care. And so one of these days I'm sitting there and I ended up just putting it on the shoulder and it sat there. And the boss of the bar just looked at me and he's gone, "What are you doing with my lizard?" And I've gone, "He's happy."
Yeah.
And he's gone, "I can see that he's happy. Do you want to feed him?" And I've gone, "Yeah, sure." I picked him up, put him on the bar and started to feed him. And he's like, "You've got away with animals that I've never seen. Like no one would actively see a lizard, would see a snake and things like that. Like they had a python. They had also a poisonous snake as well. And I just went up to the non-poisonous one picked it up, handled it. It went up around my neck and everything else, and I just walked around with it. and the barman has turned around and he's gone, "This is not funny because you are deliberately going off to people with a beer in hand, having a drink, and then holding it next to the head of the snake, and the snake's having a drink of the beer as well."
I don't do snakes. Any type of snake. Like, I don't care if you say it don't bite people. Like, garden snake, hell no. I'm across the yard screaming bloody murder. Like, I don't do snakes.
As long as the snake stays on you and we keep a little bit of a bubble between us, I'm fine. It's like
those are dangerous. They have brown snakes in Guam, and they actually would have dogs come out to the aircraft to sniff around the jet to detect to see if any brown tree snakes had climbed up into the jet, so they didn't leave the island. And I was trust me, there's no snakes on this jet, because if I saw them, I would be over there screaming.
Well, back in the day when we actually had people back in the day when we had tourism in Coopedi, people would fly up or take the bus up to Coopedi. And as one of the guys that was a local there, because I lived there for 12 months, I would basically get the task of, can you go down and pick up these people? They're coming in. And I'd forget that I had a lizard on my shoulder.
Yeah.
I'd drive, and no problem whatsoever. I'd drive up, pick I'd just be there. I'd hold the sign up going, "Yep, okay, you're here here. Yep, okay, here we go." I'd end up taking them back, and then accurate.
You totally read it in his voice.
Exactly.
Part of these motherfucking snakes on these motherfucking planes. But yeah, so they'd jump into the car and then they'd see me and I'd be patting the lizard. And they're like, "It's a brooch." And I've gone, "Nah, it's a real lizard." They're like, "No, it isn't." And I've gone, "Watch." And I touched its tail and the tail moved and they're like, "Ah!" And they were all trying to get out of the car. But that was the thing. And that's the thing is, here in Australia, we've got such a diverse array of animals. The bearded dragons are amazing. They were massive. They were about a foot long. But the smallest one, which is the cutest, is the great thorny devil. It is literally 4 inches in length. And it's got little spikes and it looks like a little devil all over its body. It's cute. So reptiles are cute. I don't like reptiles very much. I can deal with some lizards, some geckos, but snakes, Spiders too.
They all want to kill me.
Yeah.
If I know that there's a snake there, I'm okay. Maybe a little uneasy, but if it just all of a sudden slithers out on me, nope. Spiders, definitely. I try to be brave.
Did you read that? Did you read that spider-related article I sent to our little?
No, why would I?
No. I saw a spider and I went, "Hell no, Dave. Hell no."
Basically,
did you guys see my TikTok?
Basically, what it said was that, when you wake up and you have eye boogers in the morning, that's spider cum, because when you're asleep, the boy spiders run around. They think your eyelashes are female spiders.
Ah, god damn! I'm glad I didn't read that.
I ended up doing a TikTok the other day, and it's a spider and behind the. Oh, he's gone.
Say that shit again, and I will permanently ban you.
I did a TikTok the other day, and it's a spider on the inside of a power outlet.
Yeah, there's a reason why I didn't see that. My algorithm's like, nope.
Yeah, mine doesn't show me spiders or snakes, thankfully.
Well, Jessica. I always have pants on when I'm on the show, at least some form of outer layer over my underwear.
You can't guarantee that with our Marines, though.
They wear ranger panties.
They get some close calls there. I don't know why I sound Midwestern there.
I had to take about 2 or 3 doing my my kilt TikTok video. I had to do that 2 or 3 times because the twig and berries were exposed a little bit. It was like, nope, can't put that on TikTok.
No, you can wear underwear under that, right?
No, you can't.
No, you're not supposed to.
Huh.
You know what's
walking around? What about the heat?
You know what's under a kilt? Socks.
God. So then the sweat just runs down your leg?
What did you name him? What did you name him, John?
It's the best. It's the best. I wished I'd have started wearing them sooner. It's kind of the only way I can describe it is like when a guy gets out of the shower and they just wrap a towel around their waist and they walk around for a little bit. It's like that, but all day. It's so just everything. Just instead of being all snug and hugged up, it just is there.
So we know what type of
we're
man.
at this point tonight.
So now we know what type of man Dave is in the gym locker room.
And now we can see the reason why in the Brave movie, the Disney Brave, when the guy turns around and lifts his kilt.
And all of them are like, oh my God.
The first time I wore my kilt, I actually went on a beer stroll over to Walgreens. And there were a couple people that worked there full time. And
no. You get that.
No.
You get that.
And
yes.
a couple of the gals that know me, like Amanda Melton, my adopted little civilian sister here, she was like, "What the hell are you wearing?" There was this 78-year-old lady that was working there, and she looked at me like, what, you know.
Been there, done that. No, I've got a friend of ours over in the West. He is full Scot. He's got the whole skill, the Scottish kilt, everything else, and he is a laugh. Like he was Navy as well, and just whenever he goes to a wedding, he's always got the kilt on.
Well, see, I'm not Scottish. I'm not Irish or English. I'm none of that. I got a plain khaki colored one. I'm getting another black one. I don't want to get a tartan or a plaid because that I'm not,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is for me, I can't because even though I'm Irish, it's actually mine is French descendant Irish.
Oh, yeah. They had that little tiff.
So that's interesting.
Very much so, especially with my travels over there.
No. It's a banana hammock, isn't it?
Oh, he's got one of those over.
It's either a thong one or a banana hammock.
He's got one of those.
A mankini.
So your cheeks can tan.
He's got one of those over-the-shoulder things that goes from the crotch up over and then
He's got a mankini.
I gotta go. I'm really fucking busy.
I think we need to roll something anyway. It's top of the hour.
Banana hammock. Whoop, where to go?
You ready? You ready to roll that beautiful bean footage? Beard footage. What did I say?
I was just gonna say, what the hell are you talking about?
He's got beans on the mind.
Say it again.
Roll that beautiful beard footage.
As foolish as we are. Oh yeah, we danced till the sun came up. Oh yeah, we danced till the sun came up. Yeah, as foolish as we are. Oh yeah, we danced till the sun came up. Oh yeah, we danced till the sun came up.
Oh, it actually stopped this time. Yay! I know what to do.
And now we've lost her.
No, I'm here. I'm just gonna step up.
She's just
Uncle
changing
Si,
her
if you-
top.
Whoa, bro. Uncle Si, if you will, talk about any new promotions or anything like that.
Well,
that
he did a
flash.
he did a flash sale on Monday that went over like a fart in church. Sadly, you missed out. He had, I think it was 10% off for Labor Day. but he's doing great. They got full funding for the food trailers, so it was a definite go to begin with, but now they got full funding for it, so it's not like, oh, we got to come up with $20,000 to cover what didn't get covered. Yeah, he's got so that's going on. He's getting the coffee rub. He's got the coffee sauce, I think, available, but he's getting a coffee seasoning to go with it. And I believe he found a co-packer that can actually handle doing the Carolina Reaper stuff, looking like Breaking Bad guys with the full hazmat suit, Yeah, that guy. Yep, there you go. Coffee. Oh my gosh, that coffee seasoning. I got to try a test batch sample of it when he was first coming up with it. It tastes incredible on pork. Oh, it's so good on pork chops. And yeah, he's still got a couple of jars of the Sacred Mountain left, which it's not like a lot of these other places. 100% of whatever he sells goes back. He's cutting them a check for like $2,000 this weekend at the golf tournament. Other than that, he's just hanging out. He had a friend that came up from Colorado to go to Sacred Mountain Retreat this weekend. Yeah, the habanero. Jade's going to come back completely red over that.
Habanero.
And there's all kinds of swag you can get. I think he's still got some of these way cool vinyl patches. You can always order a custom shirt, get your name on it. By the way, if you don't put what you want for a name on it, Felix gets to pick. That's how I ended up HR director. But yeah, so it's all going good over there. He's getting restocked on stuff. I need to order me one of them new hats. Like I don't have enough Beard BQ stuff in my house. And yeah, anybody that's used his product, please go to his Facebook or his TikTok, share what you've used your beards on and stuff like that,
I wish he still had the leggings.
You can still, he got rid of his Teespring, didn't he?
Yeah, but I would need him in black with his logo in white, and then
Right.
like his logo would need to be a background of white, and then that way you can clearly see the Beard BQ
Right.
in the background. That way, when I go running, I can be like, free advertising, yeah. Is the background? There you go, Ducky.
Oh, you mother bitches. I'm seeing the
Also, for
habanero.
those that were wondering what I'm eating,
You doing them hot, spicy chocolate stuff, man. You weirdos down there, man.
it's a chili choc bar from one of our chocolate companies here in Adelaide. It's called Melba's Chocolate Factory. They've got all sorts of chocolate.
Now, see, your
And
guys,
I always get
chocolate outside the States tastes different than chocolate in the States. I will.
It does.
I will
Yes.
because when Digger sent me that stuff, he sent me cookies. You guys call them biscuits. They're frickin' cookies. But he also sent me like a couple chocolate bars, and the chocolate just has a like creamier, sweeter taste to it than like chocolate here. And Frank, I've used the dry season. Yeah, Tim Tams. God, those are delicious, but they melt on your fingers, man. Those are cookies, not biscuits. Those are cookies, Ducky.
I forgot I bought them
That is
yesterday.
disturbing, Michael, and I totally want to share it, but I'm not gonna unless you say I can.
Those are cookies.
Well, now I want to know.
I bought them yesterday for the better half.
I'll send it in the group if he's not okay with us putting it on the show. It's not bad.
I ended up buying another hot sauce bottle as well. Unfortunately, because to import from America is like
it's
$40.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So
I think-
instead, I've got this.
No, that's gonna make my butthole spit pure fire. I'm good.
Yeah.
Black
Probably
It's a full
TMI.
hole.
Night, Mike. I don't need to like replace my toilet for melting porcelain the next morning. No.
No,
No,
I can't. His habanero sauce, though. I need more of it, but I need to wait until after the move, and then I plan to stockpile it. Put some in the apocalypse pile. Have some for right now. Like
I've got a jar of his original, the Sacred Mountain. I've got a jar of that in my like oh shit box. You know, because you need to have something to barter with. Exactly. You got to either have something to cook with or something to barter when shit hits the fan. Just saying.
Well,
It
you
doesn't
never know,
last
it might hit
long.
the fan next year.
my husband, like, we'll make chicken nuggets as a lazy meal where we'll do. It's like 2 a.m. We're hungry. We make chicken nuggets instead of using like the cheap barbecue sauce that we buy for our kid. He goes in and gets the good stuff and eats it right out of the jar. Just dumps it. And I'm just like, that's supposed to be for chicken or steaks or something. That's supposed to be for a meal. And you're out here dunking straight out of the jar.
I've done that.
Something.
I've gotten chicken nuggets from BK, and they're like, "Do you want a sauce with that?" And I'm like, "No, I've got a sauce at home." I come back and I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah, I hide my mustard sauce because my child will do what you're saying. Like,
oh, this is my
It's
husband,
just like-
a grown man that freaking knows better.
no,
but does it anyway.
it's another child.
Yes. I always tell
But-
people I don't need more children because I already have 2.
Right? I technically have.
How do you
4,
think I
so
feel? I'm 5. 4 kids and me.
0. My pullout game is better than Biden's.
I sent that photo to you, didn't I?
I've been saying that for years. I just finally have a president that I'm better at pulling out than they are.
So I did something this week,
Uh-oh.
which it's actually pretty cool. So Tommy Indifferent, one of our favorite Marines, actually makes barbecue sauce as well.
Yes.
So when I went down and met with Kyle, Kyle gave me one of Tom's sauces, which is the Carolina. I have a fucking I have a Western accent, okay?
Carolina.
But I put this on pork chops. It is delicious because I honestly, when I saw the Carolina, I was thinking maybe there might be a little bit of pepper, like a lot of pepper in it or something, that my child would not eat it. But my child loves it. This is delicious. It's a Tom's Sauce Company. It's amazing as well.
Speaking of kids eating things, I saw a commercial on TV today for like French fries, frozen ones, right? And basically they're telling you to bribe your kids with French fries to eat food. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I grew up where, I wasn't a picky eater because of what? Hunger. If I didn't eat.
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook.
It's like I would wake up, literally, this happened to me. I woke up the next morning for breakfast to go to school. Guess what was breakfast? What I didn't eat last night.
Yeah.
And
And
funnily enough, that's the same for here.
And this was before microwaves. So it wasn't like put it in the nuker for 2 minutes to warm it up. No, it was cold leftovers.
And that's what we do. I flat out tell my kid, like, you eat what's for dinner or you go hungry. Makes 0 difference to me. I'm not the one that's going to be hungry. Oh, goddamn it.
I'm not the one that's hungry.
My dad literally
I will say that I do give in because I do have a picky eater. I am borderline with it because I'm like, there's certain textures that I'm just like absolutely fucking not. So
I've eaten bugs and larvae, okay? I don't like liver, but I will eat it if it's there because...
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I won't give. Like, if she needs to try it, and she's so little that if she doesn't eat enough of it, like she doesn't like green beans. I've tried everything to get this kid to eat green beans, and she doesn't eat green beans. I'm not going to fight that. But when she looks at food and straight up asks for chicken nuggets without trying it, you're going to eat that or you're going to go hungry. And that's what's going to be for breakfast. And if you don't eat it for breakfast, that's what's going to be for lunch. This is going to be a repeat meal until you at least try it a few times.
I've straight up had my dad, like, I remember like grade school growing up and like, I'm like, I don't want to eat this. And my dad's like, you don't, huh? and pulled off my plate right onto his and go, guess you go hungry tonight and I get doubles, you know?
There were a few times that my parents did that because I used to not like chicken, which is funny because now I absolutely adore chicken. And so my parents would be like, fine, you go hungry. And then my dad would eat the piece of chicken and I'd just be like, I'm going to go hungry.
Yeah.
And now
I've got a bad,
like our younger one doesn't eat chicken, won't eat chicken. Like, and
I've got a bad mum fail cooking story. Because down here, my mother ended up with a cookbook. She started cooking out of it, and it was a chili con carne.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds great. Chili con carne, yep. There was a typo in the book saying that it was supposed to be 2 teaspoons of curry powder. In the book, it said 2 tablespoons of curry powder.
Why is it spicy?
Because I was going off to Scouts that night, I'd eaten a little bit of it and I've gone, that's way too hot. I can't eat that. Mum turns around and says, you are going to eat that. I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
So I end up eating it. And the next morning I've got liquid. And then I didn't find out until 3 years ago. So this happened 20 years ago when she did the curry. I didn't find out until 3 years ago that night my parents had it after they dropped me off, came back, had it a little bit, and then threw it out. So I turned around, I looked at them, and I've gone, so you're telling me that you forced me to eat that
and you wouldn't even eat it yourself.
and you didn't want to eat it.
Can I say a curse word?
I grew up in the 70s, and like there was these Betty Crocker cookbooks that were like little flashcards, and some of them were good. Some of them I want to beat the person that came up with the recipe. There was this one thing where it literally was Vienna sausage with beans and some other kind of thing, and it was like the most. It was ugly. It was disgusting, but. It was like, well, I guess we're eating this tonight. And I look at my dad and I see my dad trying to like choke it down and stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm not the only one that thinks this is really bad,
Don't break your mama's heart.
My mom would make the reason
now
why
my mom admits it now. She was like, she's apologized to me and my dad for some of these cooking experiments that she did in the 70s and 80s.
Oh, I've got another. Oh, this is the thing: is my mum has made many a mistake. Down here, as you know, we've got Penfolds, which is a major winery, and my dad ended up getting 2 bottles, 1982 vintage, so my birth year. One, they were both what was called Ebenezer, and Ebenezer was the one grade lower than the Penfolds Grange. Now you can imagine that bottle was, when he bought it, $400 a bottle. When we drank it, it was worth about $2,000 to $3,000.
Damn.
My mother made it into a spaghetti sauce.
Oh my God, no. No, I'm not a big wine person, but there's just some stuff you don't use to cook.
She didn't know. She rang Dad and goes, I'm making spaghetti sauce. I need a cooking wine. And Dad said, oh, yeah, just go into the bar and pick one out. There's heaps in there. Oh. And when he got home, he saw which bottle it was and almost died because he bought 2. One was for my 50th.
Oh, my.
And one was for my 18th, because down here, 18 is our legal drinking age. So you can imagine at the age of 15, we're drinking a $3,000 bottle of wine.
Oof. I think I think the most expensive bottle of wine I got to sample was like about $2,200. It was when we were like stupid rich with Kuwait, no
Mhm.
combat money. You know, we were like, let's go to a really classy restaurant like idiots. Yeah.
We had a really fucked up situation. So my dad decided to make beer chili last minute. And it was okay, except the taste of beer was really strong. And I had about 3 bowls that night.
Oh my.
And I felt a little buzz. Now, thankfully, I did not feed it to my kid. I had made her a sandwich that night because the chili wasn't ready in time. Wasn't ready in time. So I made her peanut butter sandwich, put her to bed, and then we eat the chili. He didn't cook it long enough, so the alcohol was still in the chili.
Yep.
And I got drunk off chili. And I remember sitting there like, whoo, Dad, what? He's like, did you drink? I'm like, I had nothing to drink. And I hadn't even eaten that day. All I had was the chili. And I'm just like, Dad, I feel pretty good. What was in the chili?
I used to make chili on the weekends for football in the barracks at Carson, and I'd have the guys in the barracks come in and get a bowl, and I made it with Jim Beam, and so I'd like start cooking to let the alcohol cook out, but right towards the end I dumped like a half a bottle in. So I was making Jim Beam chili that yes, you can get drunk off of that if you don't let it cook out.
I didn't know, and neither did my dad. He didn't let it cook long enough. So by the time, it'd been reheated and stuff, the alcohol was finally gone. But those first few bowls, I felt great.
Oh, yeah. My mom used to make all kinds
of... It's a good night.
All kinds
and I was working on a paper for school, and I was just like, watching the words kind of wave in and out on the screen going, did I drink something?
Bolognese sauce, yeah. I used to think that was bolognese. Bologna.
That's the one I usually get. It's red wine with chutney and everything else. Absolutely love it.
My traditional Christmas cookie is made with whiskey.
Ooh, I bet that tastes great.
My mom made rum balls one time and she misread the recipe. And
seems to happen quite often there.
My mom may or may not have a few alcoholic problems, but so she made rum balls and literally she like messed it up and added the rum so it didn't get cooked out. You ate like 3 of these rum balls and you were kind of half lit. I'm like sitting there going, I got to drive home. I probably shouldn't eat any rum balls. Wait, they're rum balls. I haven't had anything
to drink.
Yeah, cookies. Yeah.
No, so it's made with whiskey, and we usually will like the cheapest freaking whiskey ever, because it bakes out. But they're called bizcochitos, which is pretty much little biscuits. They look like sugar cookies, but they're not sweet like sugar cookies. So maybe this year I'll figure it out, and I'll make enough that I can actually send it to you, Ducky. I don't know how expensive that would be, but
oh my god, it'd be expensive going to Australia. I've talked to Felix about shipping stuff to Ducky or Digger, and it's crazy
to figure out how to
it's absolutely stupid just trying to stuff. It's stupid trying to ship stuff from the States to here. It's $40 at minimum, and that's for a small box. For me, when I was sending stuff over to Airborne SM, I ended up sending him a small package up to 5 kilos. So that's for us. That's a small package up to 5 kilos, and it was $48. And then 5 kilos, and then the big package that I sent him, which was 5.8 kilos, ended up being $92.
Yeah,
in postage.
Just in shipping.
Yeah. When Digger sent me that 6-pack and the cookies and the other stuff, it was crazy. I saw it and I was like, dude, you know, but I helped send him a knife, and me and Felix are trying to figure out how to send some sauce down to there. But yeah, it's crazy, man.
Well, and it's crazy too, because Ray, who is he was sending me stickers to take to Kyle when Kyle was down in New Mexico.
Right.
And he actually ended up coming in a little bit earlier than we originally thought with the timeline, which Kyle doesn't know this story, was that myself and Ray were kind of just like, fuck, I don't think I'm going to have it in time. That he pretty much overnighted me his stickers.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was like $30 or something like that for the and that was from Michigan to Colorado.
I just spent $30 in shipping for craft shit.
Yeah, and John,
and that's just from wherever the Joann's warehouse is to my house.
And
it's just standard.
And
thankfully, I had a coupon, so I didn't end up having to pay it. But if I didn't, it was going to cost me $30.
And for the amount of sauce that Felix wanted to send Bill, it was going to be like $400 to send like $200 worth of sauce. You know, it was stupid.
Why is it so expensive?
Mm.
We need carrier pigeons.
Because they're in the future. It's got to go this way and then into tomorrow and then come back.
Yeah, here we go. I've just looked up online. So a parcel from Australia in one of the websites, it says for up to 250 grams, which is nothing. To go to North America,
well, it depends.
It's $20.95.
It depends what you're talking about. 250 grams is a lot of cocaine, but it's not a lot of weed.
See, what had happened was we got banned that one night.
But then you end up looking at the 2 kilos plus. So a standard weight of 2 kilos for North America is $65 for 2 kilos.
That's
and
crazy.
Then anything above that, it's an extra $25 per kilo.
Right? It's silly.
It's stupid prices. If only we had sort of like a random ship that accidentally brought a whale carcass into California and just put stuff from America onto it that was coming back to Australia.
Yeah.
Not looking at a certain HMAS vessel.
Well, that's what I was trying to get Felix to do. I'm like, bro, you were in the Air Force not too long ago. You got to still know people that doing things and flying places. Be like, hey, Chief, can you put this on here and like ship it once you get to here? You know.
Yes, Frank. I just read, well, according to Flat Earthers, Australia doesn't exist. Yeah, we're being paid by NASA and we live in the in Argentina somehow.
Yeah. And yeah,
how do you explain the guy shooting? How do you explain the guy hitting a kangaroo that was holding onto his dog?
Speaking of kangaroos, those things are evil. I saw something on Facebook today from a news source that showed a kangaroo from like the shoulders up was in the water. And what they do is they go into the water. And so something thinks it's in distress and it goes in and then they kill it by drowning it.
Mm-hmm.
That's an evil animal, man. They're not cute and fuzzy. No, they're evil.
Yeah, kangaroos, drop bears. Yeah, I'm still on the hunt. They're starting to come down out of the Adelaide Hills. So they will probably be in another month or so, be in the local area. But over the next month, I'll actually be moving. So,
me too.
Yeah.
Hella long boat ride.
In the
Holy
Navy.
In the Navy.
It was for you, Dean.
Well, funnily enough, Frank, Air Force Express, I actually live in a state that has a major Air Force field.
Now, if you ever get them to fly up by Rapid City, what's that one? Ellis? Yeah, right, John? Yeah.
You've seen the guy that punches a kangaroo with his holding onto his dog.
Yeah.
no fear, just walks up and boom. Like,
Well,
you
the
just
thing
hear-
was, is if you slow the video down, you see the dog is getting wrestled, and you see the kangaroo actually try to kick it and rip out with his lower
Yeah.
limbs, trying
they
to rip out his guts.
They got talons,
Well,
bro.
I thought it had its neck and pretty
Yeah,
much kind of
it's
like
got its-
looked up, and the dude just fucking
Yeah.
nailed it
What
like
it
a grown ass man.
was, yeah, the dog or the kangaroo had the dog around the neck with his front paws.
Right.
Now they've got claws on them, and they're fairly substantial.
Big.
But then on their feet, so their front paws or the top paws, they've got claws. On their feet itself, it is almost a 1 inch claw on 3 toes, which, if you remember
Like
the
a
raptor out of Jurassic
velociraptor.
Park,
Have the.
Yeah.
you can imagine he's trying to kick it and trying to scratch its guts out from underneath the chest belt.
That's basically what Rupert does when I try to pet his belly. He latches on, and then the back legs just go nuts on my arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine this motherfucker being 6 feet tall.
See, now I would not even be in that situation because I'd be like, "Oh, look, a kangaroo," and I would walk that way.
Yeah,
Mhm.
me too. I don't mess with them.
You'd be surprised. Here in Adelaide, we've actually got a few wildlife sanctuaries. And in the sanctuaries themselves, they've got spaces where the kangaroos come out and you can feed them pellets and things like that. They have been domesticated.
Yeah, right. Domesticated.
Frank,
They
have
are
your
still
people call
classified
my
as
people.
wild animals, but they do come up and eat the pellets that we've got. Same as emus, same as a lot of things.
The
it
fucking
always
news.
reminds me of that Facebook picture where it shows the people like in Africa on a safari, and they're in the like white Land Rover, and they get out to take pictures of the elephants, and there's 2 lions about 20 feet away in a bush, and they're like, "You see these motherfuckers? They don't see us. Fuck at lunch, whoop." You know,
Yeah.
any wild animal,
You see
no.
me? Yeah, I see you.
Yeah, no, I'm just no wild animal.
Hey, Audie, I wouldn't even have to get him too drunk.
I've
He'd do it
learned.
just for fun.
The last time I got drunk and did something stupid, I was in AIT, and a buddy of mine, we went on a 3-day leave. It was funny. He lived in Festus, Missouri, which is like 20 minutes from Fort Leonard Wood. And he used to joke. He's like, "Yeah, join the Army, travel the world." Right. I'm 20 minutes away from home. But he had done some rodeo, and he had a practice bull. I didn't know there was such a thing. And we go to his place.
The barrel with the straps.
No,
pretty much to a tree,
it
or
was-
was
it
it an
was-
actual like mechanical bull?
It was a real freaking bull that was older, and so it wasn't as violent. But it was a real bull. And so, like, his dad fed me moonshine, and like the beginning of the night, they're like, "You want to ride the bull?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm good with that." After about a couple shots of moonshine, I'm like, "Strap that bull up. Let me try that shit." Yeah, no. I can I now
Actual bull?
an actual real bull, Jade, like
I
between my legs,
cannot
living,
even
breathing.
imagine if you got hurt and had to explain this to your chain of command.
Oh yeah, that would have been a fun Monday morning. Like, how'd you break your arm and leg? Well, you see, I was drunk on
What
moonshine,
had happened was
and I got dared to ride a bull. And I honestly, I'll be honest, I lasted about 2 seconds, about $2, and then I was off. But I realized in that amount of time how those cowboys can jump up on top of an 8-foot fence.
Mhm.
And I realized never to do anything you're dared drunk. And I've lived by that for years. Oh, emus are just freaking dinosaurs, man. They're not even freaking nothing. Yeah.
No, emus aren't the ones that you have to worry about. The cassowaries.
The cassowaries, those things. Ugh, fuck
What
them.
is a cassowary?
I was
I
going to
guess-
say Australians went to war twice with emus and lost.
Yes.
What the hell is a cassowary?
Cassowary is like an ostrich on crack on payday.
Got it.
It will. Somebody had one in Florida not too long ago.
That's the one with like
Oh, those things.
Yeah, somebody had a
Little-
pet. Yeah, somebody had a pet cassowary in Florida not too long ago, and it attacked them. I'm like, one, why are you trying to keep a dinosaur as a pet? You know.
Have y'all seen this? Like it's legit prehistoric bird. It's like it doesn't even look real. Oh fuck! Never mind.
And no audio.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's in Australia, but
Yeah, no audio. It wasn't a steer. It was a bull. It had horns. It was just an older, mellower one, but it still fucked me up.
Yeah, it probably had lost its balls though.
It bucked like it had some.
I was just
didn't
gonna say,
look.
how did it buck?
It bucked. Like I said, I literally like 2 or 3 seconds, and I think I'm giving myself a lot more credit than I actually was. You know. But yeah, I hit the ground, hit my ass, looked at the bull. He kind of snorted, and I was like, up on top of
the Oh, no. Well, funnily, or the group that I'm going to scare, the parents that I'm scaring on the weekend, I absolutely love them. But whenever I've been around them, yeah, I'm actually thinking I might need a beer as well, actually. Whenever I've been around them, I end up doing something and I end up hurting myself. And I've always made the comment to them, if I am going to be doing anything, you have to have it on videotape. Every single time I've said this to them, they haven't had it on videotape. I have not got the images. I've got the images and them pissing themselves laughing after the fact. Because the first time it happened was we're removing a basketball hoop from their backyard. I was holding onto a rope to steady the backboard, and there was 5 other guys holding onto the steel pole that was 3 feet into the ground. So it's a 13 feet piece of steel tube. And because I'm holding onto the rope, I'm steadying it so it's going up straight. Sure enough, the guys actually lifted up, and then all of a sudden they've dropped it because it's come out of the hole. They've dropped it and it's come down like a guillotine and swung around.
Ouch.
I kept hold of the rope. It was going, the branch was an olive tree. And so my friend's mum and one of his then girlfriends has seen the sand go up and then come sliding down, and all they saw was my feet go from on the ground to straight in the air. They pissed themselves laughing to the point where the mum had to go and change herself, because she said it was the funniest thing that they had seen in a long time. And I turned around, I said, and this is the reason why every time I'm over, I tell you to get the video camera. Now, the scary thing was when we ended up looking at where the backboard hit the olive tree, it was about 3 inches above where my ankles would have been if it had actually collected me. So I could have lost my feet that day. I'm still walking. I've still got my feet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just that one aspect of they've just gone, oh my God, that was hilarious. And then they've gone, oh my God, he could have lost his feet.
Oh, yeah. There's so many times in the Army where like stuff has happened, and like when it's done, you're like, oh, that was cool. That was funny. And then you're sitting there thinking about it. You're like, fuck, that could have been
died.
Yeah, you know, it's like, what was I doing?
Well, that's the same thing. Is same family. So this is the thing, is this family I grew up with, and I have absolute ball with them every time. They ended up having the jet ski and the inner tube coming around out the back of the jet ski.
Yeah.
I was riding with his brother. So 2 people onto the biscuit holding on the inner tube and just bouncing around. We've got a big old paddle steamer. Hey, kitten. All right. Later. Sorry, that would be my youngest daughter. What it is the big old paddle steamer on our ship, on our River Murray. We have come in behind the paddle steamer and they've flicked me and the brother around and we've hit the back wake. The wake of this is about 8 feet to 9 feet. We've reached the top of the wake, and as it's come down, as the biscuit has come down, it's shot the brother up in the air, and the biscuit's flipped me over, and I've come out at the bottom. The brother came straight down on top of me.
Oh,
as I said, the mum and dad were pissing themselves laughing because they've gone, why is it you always tell us, get the video camera, this is going to be funny.
yeah.
And we forget to videotape. Yeah, we ended up, his brother and myself ended up with a concussion that day and we didn't realize it.
Oh, there's so many things. Like, I remember we used to, here in Iowa, we do sledding, like in the wintertime. You know, like you get snow and I don't know if like us, it was like we got to find the biggest, steepest, baddest hill, right? And you try to outdo each other. You know, it's like, oh, you went down that on a saucer. I can go down it on a box. Well, I decided to take a 4-person toboggan, which is just a big curved piece of wood. You know, and 4 people are supposed to go down it and have a nice family moment. My drunk ass stands up on it, holds the rope, and I'm like, I'm snurfing, and off the hill I go.
I've done that. It was so painful.
Well, I didn't realize there was a jump towards the bottom of the hill.
Oh, shit.
And my toboggan was making a straight beeline for it no matter what I wanted to do.
Did you just bail? Just jump off?
No, I said, fuck it, I'm riding it out full send. I hit that ramp. I went about 6 foot in the air, still holding on to the toboggan about 4 feet away from me. I landed and I slid about 9 foot spinning and stuff like that, you know. And I hear everybody up at the top of the hill clapping and going, do it again, do it again. And I'm like,
no.
I finally waddled back up and limped to the top of the hill with the toboggan, and everybody's like, oh man, that's cool as fuck. That's when I realized I'm getting older. You know, I was like 32 at the time and was like, this is not, no, I can't do things like that anymore.
Here in the snowfields of the north or in New South Wales and that, my mate, so same mate, he ends up going there, or he used to go there until COVID every year. With the family and everything else. And we've actually got major highways going through our snowfields. So you can imagine if you miss and you don't stop in time, you could end up as roadkill.
Yeah.
He ended up jumping and getting just in front of a truck a couple of times because he had missed the stop point. So, yeah, he's turned around. Well, there's amazing stories that we can do.
Oh yeah, you got to wax that toboggan up like a surfboard almost. You know, you got to get that coefficient of drag down to where it's like 0.
It's a sex wax for a surfboard.
Zog.
It gives you more grip.
What one is Zog?
What, a sex wax?
Yeah, Zog sex wax for surfboards. It used to come in a green tin like boot polish. Yeah.
I like those, you know, those plastic saucer dishes that you can get where it's just a circle. My mom would wax those up and just go whee, and you just end up spinning the whole way down the hill.
We had a ride at one city park in Cedar Rapids. You might remember this, Jen. It was called
the big hill one. Yeah,
the Nutcracker.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly, Ducky. It was basically they angled 2 pieces of wood, then they would wet it down. So it was ice. Yeah, Zog sex wax. Exactly.
Oh.
but
I never paid attention to the name.
they would wet the hill down in between the 2x6s, so it was just basically a funnel, and
Yeah, it was just
you would hit some speed. Oh my god, that was fun. Stopping was a totally different thing, though, and I get the National Lampoon Vacation reference, John. Love those series. Chevy Chase is a comedic genius.
All I can say is Funny Farm.
Oh yes, I remember that.
He's
one.
gonna beat the record. And you just see the face at the end of it. She's back. What's going on with this Cricket? You keep switching.
internet.
Internet was. Yeah.
My
Yeah.
webcam wouldn't turn back on, so I had to exit and rejoin. I was just like,
Not fun. It's probably because it's connecting to an Australian internet source. It's got to go through a cable.
We're all being monitored now.
You never know.
Dear FBI, I'm sorry for the porn that I'm searching. Nothing personal.
Actually, I did see a TikTok today that I found slightly amusing. As bad as it sounds, it was a woman trying to break into her house. It's a 2-story house, and then you see a short person, a very short person, about 3 to 4 feet tall, gets thrown out over the balcony, and she decides to hide in a box that has been strategically placed on the sidewalk. And the person that went into the house comes out 2 seconds later.
John, that's funny. That's funny. I'm sorry. That's kind of amusing.
I used to chew Copenhagen, and when it came in the cardboard tin, and you do the fucking Midwest thing, you put it in your back pocket, and you get a ring in your back pocket, right? But I'd forget that I had it in my back pocket, and so we're like playing pickup freaking basketball game, just 3-on-3 and stuff, and I'd get slammed to the ground and land on that can, and I'd get a bruise on my ass the same size as that can of Copenhagen.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all remember I told you that I cracked the fuck out of my knee?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It is black.
Not good, kid.
Oh.
You may want to get that checked out. That is not a body color that is supposed to be on you. Just saying.
The swelling went down. I can walk normal on it, but I've never had a bruise this color.
It's because you're getting old.
Probably, right?
I would definitely get that looked at. Just
Yeah.
to make sure you didn't tear any ligaments or your meniscus or anything like that.
Yeah. Frank, speaking of that, I totally did that about 5 days ago. I woke up and my shoulder was freaking like this
Right?
because I slept wrong. I'm like, what the hell? Come
Who
on,
knew
body.
there was a
work with-
right or wrong way to sleep.
Sorry, I could hear
And
the
it
neighbor
gets-
bringing their bins in.
Bins,
Garbage bins.
trash cans.
Yes.
Did you see that? Black bruise usually means a broken bone. I would get it looked at, Cricket. It is better, in my opinion, it is better to get it looked at and it be nothing than to not get it looked at and it be something super serious.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing is...
What would you tell any of us with the same thing? You would tell us to go get it looked at.
She would threaten us. She would threaten us to go to the doctor. That's exactly what would happen. She'd be like, don't make me come down there and drive and drag your ass to the doctor. I'll do it. And then she gets a little short person energy. And she's like, I'm going
Bring
to the
it.
doctor. Yeah.
Bring it.
Because you have to fly up to our height.
That
That way you can make eye contact.
No. The problem would be is she would turn around. Don't make me kick your ass. Better get a stool first.
Well, it's that
No, she comes prepared with her own chocolate and stool.
the Red Bull, the Red Bull gives you wings.
Yes, she does drink Red Bulls.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Yep, I do.
And as this mug says,
Okay, I really like that cup. I'm always looking for a new
naval aviators.
You're gonna have like 5 boxes of coffee cups when you guys pack out. Because like when I watch Morning Thoughts, I swear it's like a different cup almost every time.
I swear it all fits in one cabinet, so it'll fit in one box. I don't have. I know it looks like I have a lot because it's a different cup every day. But if I showed all my cups in one video, it's maybe 30.
Maybe
So not that
30.
many. Yeah.
I've got like 1 coffee cup I use every day, and I clean it about once a month, whether I want to or not.
I like options. I like to select
Okay,
my cup
so-
every morning.
Rob has a larger coffee cup, right? That he's always liked and stuff like that. It's like, okay, cool. And then he was like, really like this Clark Griswold coffee cup.
I love Clark. He's awesome.
So I was like, oh, this is so cool. And I got it for him for Christmas, Clark Griswold, whatever. I broke that bitch
Oh no.
and replaced it with a new Clark Griswold type of coffee cup, about the same size that like he just likes. And I broke that.
What the hell?
This is on accident. Shit just like was after these fucking mugs, I swear to God. Because it's like, well, I'm not the most graceful fucking person to begin with, but I'm just saying, like, if shit would fall and just land straight on the lip of the freaking coffee cup. That one. Not the other ones or anything else on the freaking countertop. That one. So it's like I broke 2 in a row, and he's just kind of like, I thought you got these for a gift, and it seems like you're taking them out.
All right. Well, talking of coffee cups, this is my better half's soup cup.
Soup.
I want one. Oh, I want one. I
Nice.
sleep with
Are you ready for this?
Does it change?
Oh, it's
Yes.
It changes.
It's the color
It changes.
I bought my dad a Spider-Man one. It goes from Venom to Red Spider-Man.
I love Chester.
Now I just got to wait for it.
Well, show us the process. That's the exciting part.
Watching the line go up and it change.
Yes, it's so
I gotta go.
satisfying.
I got to heat the kettle up. I think it's too cold. Give me a second.
I bought my.
And I do because he loves the Clark Griswold stuff, and like I said, like he doesn't do like the normal coffee cup size. He does the larger ones.
Oh yeah.
Because that's like the only cup of coffee he drinks pretty much during the day is that one big one. And I don't know what it was, but it was like I had a vendetta that I didn't know that I had over these cups that I bought.
When I was on active duty, I drank so much coffee. When I left Korea, you know how usually they give you a plaque or some stuff like that, or a lighter or something like that, right? I got a 42-cup coffee pot. Big old silver bullet.
I need one of those.
42 cups.
Because I drink about 1.5 pots to 2 pots of coffee a day. And
Yeah.
It'd be nice
And
to
I don't
only
drink
make one
coffee.
pot.
So I had to.
It's okay. I drink your portion.
I drink everybody's.
Yes, and I'm jealous of that lamp.
I
Chile.
had that 42-cup coffee pot in Korea, then went to Carson, had it in the motor pool. Then we got sent to Kuwait, and I packed a 42-cup coffee pot in my duffel bag and went to Kuwait with it. And like the third day we're out in the sand, I'm firing up the contact truck, hitting the generator up off the PTO, firing up coffee. First sergeant comes over, he's all mad, like, noise discipline. What are you doing? I'm like, making coffee, Top. He goes, how long till it's done?
Carry on.
Yeah, he was every morning. He would then come over to the motor pool area that we had, And he's like, "Where's the coffee?" I'm like, "It's on the way, Top. Don't worry." You know.
Let's see this.
I think Audie even drank out of that coffee pot for a while. He was there at Carson when I still had that.
It's going.
Oh yeah, there she goes, Ducky. Oh, that's so cool. That is cool.
Oh, I want that cup.
Just like
I love Trust Your Cat so much that I have the little stuffed animal that sleeps in my bed every night. Like I love Trust Your Cat.
Jen's gonna, yeah, exactly. Jen's gonna be.
I want that cup.
After the show, Jen's like, Amazon, Cheshire Cat, color changing.
Yes.
They're bringing out the 60th anniversary pop edition as well.
Jen ain't even waiting till the end of the show.
I was
She's
just
on
gonna say,
Amazon right
she's
now.
already on it.
Yes. I'm
Cheshire.
looking at what they have.
She's like, Matt, we're getting a new
And
coffee cup.
They have options.
Oh my. Oh wow.
That one looks like boobs.
That does look a lot like boobs. Or a girl bent
Well-
over with buttocks.
Yes. So I'm like, oh, they have cups. I never
I
thought about
didn't even
looking on
bring-
Amazon for them. I've been waiting to go to Disneyland to see if they had them, but Amazon has almost everything. I ordered my new sewing stuff that I needed from Amazon, and it arrived a day early. I
Oh,
got
nice.
1 day delivery instead of 2 day.
Awesome. I love when that happens.
Oh, fudge.
What does FIL mean?
Father-in-law.
Oh, okay. I don't
The
have one.
VHS are the old tapes.
Trust me, I know what VHS means. I still have some.
Simon was there when he invented it.
I was thinking about a lot of that stuff.
Yes.
I remember before VCRs. I remember before microwaves. When you
He remembers the wireless. He
Yeah.
was probably one of the guys in the War of the Worlds effort over in Britain that freaked everyone out.
What did they use? Probably a dumb question, but what did they use before microwaves? Because all I know are VHSs
Oven
and,
and-
microwaves.
Oven and stovetop.
oven and stove. Actually,
Ah.
this is going to mess you guys up. I don't own a microwave.
Mine
You eat
is
your leftovers
probably as
cold?
old as you.
I either eat my leftovers cold or I put them in the oven or on top of the stove and reheat them.
Oh, look at you!
Yeah, that
You're
takes too
fancy.
long.
Yeah, that's why I just put it in the microwave. Like Emily's oatmeal, I have it down.
We're the generation of now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I actually move, I'll be able to actually get my the heat changing mug that I made myself.
Ooh.
I used to, or because when I was over in Western Australia, my better half had a small business. We ended up doing T-shirts, we did coffee mugs, we did mouse pads, we even did a puzzle, and also coasters, so bar coasters. We did them, and magnets and things like that. And we ended up, yeah, but
Ah,
yeah, exactly.
This is
But
the
they weren't
one
printed.
surviving one.
Yeah,
I know.
they
That's
weren't
my
mine
printed. They had to be
mine
layered.
is bent. I need a new one because my child
Oh
got
no.
a hold of
Oops.
it.
Don't too go
But it-
destroy the other one
As
that I
long
had.
as I post it, I set it down like this, it works.
Those
So
were
yeah, I ended up doing all of that, and we had a process called sublimation, and I was actually able to make my own coffee mug that would heat appear. And so, sure enough, I did Star Wars for May the 4th.
May the 4th be with you. Yes, got that.
Yes.
And
Totally.
also with
So,
you.
yes.
Well, that's a
and,
Catholic in me.
yeah, we ended up doing a bar mat and also for all sorts. So I had an absolute ball doing that stuff. And hopefully after the move, we'll be able to find everything and start doing some more things for us.
I
That'd be
remember.
amazing.
I remember when microwaves first came out. The like urban legend was you had to leave a cup of water in it in case it accidentally got turned on. Like somebody accidentally came by and turned the timer on and hit the power button, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for
Funnily
like,
enough, my grandmother still does the same, as well as my parents.
my mom and dad still leave a coffee cup with just water in it, you know, and oh my God, you can't do this or that, you know, and it's like,
I just read that and I'm just like, I remember those days too.
oh yeah, no shit. You never see nobody coming out with a 65-inch projection TV.
We have a projection TV downstairs, and that bitch still works.
Oh yeah, I had one of them. It took me 4 friends to move it, you know, in a truck.
I just want to blow it up.
I ended up.
It's so big, it's so inconvenient, and it's friggin' just.
Oh, it takes up about 5
But
square
it's in the
feet.
basement, so
It takes up. Yeah, it takes up a whole corner of the basement and like 5 square feet footprint. Yeah.
The first TV I had was the old tube TVs, and I blew that one up by accident just by turning it off. It had a short in it that I did not know. As I turned it off, I got an electric shock off of the knob, and it blew up in front of me. I turned around because my father was an electrician. He came down and he saw a little bit of smoke coming out of it, and he's going, well, that TV's fucked.
Hey, Audie, I got a question for you. Audie's my room dog from Carson, but before he got to Carson, he was in Bosnia-Herzegovina at a place called Camp Bondstill. And guess what, Audie? It's still going on and open. That's where they're sending some of the refugees to be processed. That's over 20 years.
Well, that's well over 20 years of when Audie was there to now.
Yeah, I was just curious what he thinks, you know, Camp Bondstill still going on. It's like, oh my God, you know, I'm wondering if some of the places, camps
I know that we try not to freaking say anything, but it is like I worked in detainee operations in Iraq, and it's just like I know that these detainment camps and tips and stuff like that in Iraq, they just let everybody out.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much the same thing with freaking Bagram and Afghanistan and stuff like that. That's just kind of like, what the fuck?
Well, like
these camps didn't stay. Why?
Well, like the Secretary of Defense said, we demilitarized 22 Humvees at Kabul Air Base. It's like, yeah, but we had over 2,200 vehicles, just Humvees, not counting MRAPs and, you know, anything else. There were over 2,000 Humvees in theater, and we're proud we disabled 22.
Well, here's another thing too that I didn't know about is like by the time I left Iraq, and I know this was the same for Afghanistan, is that we did not leave the wire in anything or in a Humvee or less.
Yeah.
So at a up armored Humvee was not allowed to leave the wire because of the level of danger.
Speaking of up armored Humvees, I was in when we were slowly converting them. So like we had the basic stock A1 Humvee.
Have a good night. Thank you, Dean.
And then we would get the ballistic blanket that we had to pull all of the seats out and then lay that thing in and then try to do the doors and all that up. Going from a no armor to an up armored Humvee was a pain in the freaking butt.
Oh, you have no idea. Because what you thought was up armored, what with the combat locks and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, nowadays they're freaking unbelievable. We called them the turtles, the MP Humvees that had the hard shell, and you guys had the armored door, just the door, nothing else, you know. But
so
yeah,
I did a rollover simulation in the up armored Humvee. And then I say it's a funny story. So we're completely upside down in this freaking up armored Humvee. I don't really have any experience in this type of Humvee, and I'm hanging upside down, and I cannot get my belt buckle, my seatbelt, and I'm kicking at the door latch because it's the combat lock, kicking at that, and with the movement of all my freaking gear, I somehow unlatch my seatbelt and fall on my head
Ow.
with all my my combat gear and stuff like that. But I'm still like adrenaline. Got to get out of here. Got to do
Yeah.
this checklist. Blah blah blah. This is a training scenario, just so y'all know that I'm seriously like crawling in this Humvee and still like battling with these freaking combat locks. These combat locks are just they're a pain in the ass.
Yes. I did an accidental rollover drill in a sea truck.
Accidental rollover drill. I dropped myself on my own head. You did an
Well-
accidental over.
There is nothing about an accidental rollover. It's either a rollover or it was an accident.
It was an accident that I dropped myself on my own head.
Well, I don't
Y'all's
know.
not an accident.
I don't know. In the engineer units in the Army here, we've got these things called a sea truck, a FLU 419. I'll never forget them because they're a piece of junk. They're made by 3 different companies. It's like got Mercedes engine, it's got a Chrysler transmission, and then it's got like John Deere hydraulics. And then you've got interfaces with all 3 of those things trying to do. And it's about the size of a small utility van. The wheelbase is like nothing. And, and so I'm driving this thing in the dark with blackout drive, and you had to have the front bucket up so you could not hit the bucket on the road. And that blocked the blackout drive light, which was stupid to begin with. I'm driving my head out the window like this.
Ace Ventura.
And I get, yeah, exactly. And I get too close to the edge of a hole that had just gotten dug, and then the ground gave away, and it just went. Whoop.
We've got stuff like that. We call them telehandlers, telescopic forklifts, telehandler. And yeah, you could not see out of it, and because you've got the lifting arm at this level, you can't see on the other side of the vehicle. So you're driving along. You have to raise the telly arm so you can look over at the other mirror so you can see behind if you're reversing. So,
yeah, we used to take that as a challenge. I actually got an 8x8 Hemet stuck. Somebody said Hemets can't get stuck. They're 8x8 drives. They've got 16 wheels, blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, watch me, hold my beer.
Like military grade. Hold my beer.
I'm going to have to make that T-shirt so I can just wear it one day. Nurse, pronoun, what you see after you say, hey, mate, hold my beer.
I think Audie was actually with me out of NTC in California when we had to take and recover a D7 dozer that got stuck in a mud hole. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. We had to use like the M88 tank, the tow truck for the tank, to pull that thing out of said
those
mud
things
hole.
are massive.
Oh, those things are so fun to drive. They crush anything in front of you. You go through everything.
Ask me how I know. Just kidding.
It's
All
because
right,
combat cricket knows how not to drive.
Despite what bitches say, I can drive.
Oh, me and Audie had a lot of fun driving 88s. I think Audie, the first time I went to Kuwait, before Saddam fell, the statue of them pulling Saddam down in Iraq City or whatever.
Yeah, that was y'all's truck, wasn't it?
Me and Audie had actually drove that thing. It had these weird stacks that came out of it like a semi on the back of the 88, and they call it Dragon's Breath. And it would shoot flame out of the exhaust of the freaking. It was an awesome sight. It was incredible. But yeah, I'm watching the news one day and I'm looking and I'm like, I drove that tank. Holy crap. yeah. If you could get the freaking thing up to 29 mile an hour downhill with the tailwind.
Oh, You know what, mother bitches? Gone over 2 hours. So real quickly, don't know what the hell. There it is. All right, so
Oops.
y'all been watching us for 2 hours, but just to let you know who we are.
Surprised nobody called
We're
us on that yet.
Veterans Anonymous. We are available on twitch.tv Vets Anon, YouTube Veterans Anonymous. If you want to look up old shows, I suggest that you go on our YouTube, because our Facebook, which is Facebook Veterans Anonymous 22, does not keep old shows past a certain time. So if you actually are interested in going back and checking out a certain show, that's where you will find it on YouTube. So on Tuesdays we have Scramjet with W, Uncle Si, the American. If he pops in with them, he doesn't pop in with us. If he pops in with us, he doesn't pop in with them. He's the sauce boss. Very, very, very busy. Well, and Kittens as well, because she's a traitor. Just kidding. You can catch us every week here at 7 p.m. Or no, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm not even Eastern Standard Time. W with this damn swipe. You can catch us here on the Crossroads with myself, Combat Cricket, Uncle Simon, Miss Cuddling Kittens, and the unofficial official Aussie.
The token Aussie.
Yes. On Thursdays tomorrow, you can check out Full Metal Cran Eaters. I'm blurring my freaking sentences together because, yeah, trying to get through this quickly. Tommy Indifferent, Kyle Killinger, our sweet, sweet baby Jesus, who is currently running across the country over 3,000 miles to bring awareness to veteran suicide. You can see at Because He's My Brother on Facebook. You can see his Venmo, because, running shoes aren't cheap. And we like to give him his bougie water when he can afford it. You can email us here at veteransanonymous22@gmail.com. Like I said, that's a little bit about us that I completely freaking spaced. I know that I thought about it, but I'm like,
Yeah, I think
We were
Kyle,
having too much fun.
yeah,
yes.
the last post I saw about Kyle was he was leaving Oklahoma City going to Tulsa, so he should be there. I haven't seen an update or anything because I'm here, not there.
And he is officially over 2,000 miles
Yes.
down. He's doing the damn thing.
And Audie, I will admit, we did have. I will without a doubt say we had the fastest 88 when me and you were over there in Kuwait. That thing would haul ass. Which, yeah, it's 66 tons, so 35 mile an hour was hauling ass.
All right, porn stash. I mean, Ducky.
Oh, okay.
play,
Where's
if
the
you will, with your-
teleprompter?
If you will, with your final thoughts, good sir.
Final thoughts. It's always a fun day to wake up. Make sure you do something for yourself each day, even if it is just making your bed. Hopefully we see you all again very soon. It could be sporadic for me, especially during a move, but I'll try to be here for you guys. So looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Yes, Mr. Official, Unofficial Crossroads attendee. Love it. Thank you so much, Ducky. Uncle Si.
Yeah, like I say every week, reach out, and if the person you reach out to doesn't respond, reach out to somebody else, because they might be reaching out. They might be having problems. You never know. And so that's the biggest thing. If you can take that first step to reach out to somebody, you can find somebody that will click with you or that knows how to get you some help. And I keep saying this like every week, but it just seems like it needs to keep being said, because it doesn't happen. And a lot of people are like, I'm so alone. I'm this, I'm that. It's like the emotions and the feelings are the same. The situation might be different. But I felt fear. I felt alone. I felt panic, anxiety, all of those same feelings. Our situations are all different. Jen was Air Force. Cricket was Army. Ducky was freaking Australian in the future. but we've all felt the same emotions, so just keep reaching out. You never know how good it can be if you're not here. Thank you all.
Always coming in faithfully. Thank you, Frank, so much. Because yes,
Exactly.
hashtag call your battle buddy, because the life you save may not be theirs, but your own. And that's true. Super true. Miss Kittens.
So I want to challenge you guys this week to find something that inspires you, whether that's trying something new or trying an old hobby, breaking out the sewing machine, breaking out the needles, the crochet hooks, going out to the range. Do something that inspires you to be a little bit better than you were yesterday.
I actually did something for myself today, Jen. I went for a little stroll to find some of that banana pudding that Webb and Felix are all.
Banana pudding.
I went looking for that too.
2 freaking liquor stores within walking distance. Neither of them had it.
I
But
went to the grocery store because I needed cigarettes, and I'm browsing the alcohol aisle. And I'm like, they have all the stuff, but
I'm just ordering off of Amazon, so it'll be here.
They have it on Amazon?
Yeah.
What?
Sugarland is the name brand, and then you can get the different flavors. But
Fucking banana.
yeah.
pudding.
So anyway, while I'm in the one store, it's also a smoke shop. So they sell cigars, cigarettes, blah, blah, blah. I actually got me 2 cigars, and I sat back with a cup of coffee today and had me a nice mellow cigar with a cup of coffee, watching the bunnies in my backyard, just chilling.
Are they getting big?
Oh, yeah, they're not bunnies anymore. They're bunnies.
So how long are you going to? Are they going to be for dinner in a few years or a few months?
If shit hits the fan, yes. Right now they're fun.
They're probably dinner size now if shit hits the fan. But
No.
Oh yeah, I'll just send Rupert out there to get them. He'll freaking He's like twice their size.
yes, I said what I said. How much? How much?
Amazon doesn't have it. At least not where I'm at.
Really? I typed it in and it said Walmart carried it, and I don't support Walmart for reasons. But yeah.
No, honestly, I don't either, man. We're on the same page. The main reason why I can't go in store though, because you know how they have the onesie twosie items that you just fucking need that no one else has. I can't go in the store because of the amount of people that are in there.
What's Walmart? The closest thing we've got to Walmart is Costco.
Think of it.
Not
think
a
of it as
Costco.
it's a fancy Kmart.
Right.
Like it's a lot nicer and a little less ghetto.
Hang on. Our Kmart and your Kmart are different.
Yeah, it's imagine
Kmart is the ghetto. Here.
Accurate.
Walmart is like Costco without being able to buy in bulk.
Right.
So they sell everything.
Well, that's
you can
good,
think
actually.
of. Yeah, you can get groceries to bicycles to
But
grills.
people go to this store not completely dressed and completely act out and however the fuck they want.
And that's where you get the memes from.
Exactly. So that's where the term Walmartians came up from, because like they should have an observatory deck that sells alcohol so you can watch people going through Walmart. They'd make a shit ton of money.
In Australia, that's what we call Big W.
Big W. Wally World, Big W. Cool. My buddy worked security at a Walmart or asset protection, blah blah blah, whatever the fuck you want to call it now.
Yeah.
And he's just like, some of the stories are just like, even for me, these people exist.
Yeah.
Like, what the flying fluff?
I think the funniest is our hardware store. The biggest one of Australia is called Bunnings. And
I've heard of that.
Bunny?
Yes. Bunnings. Bunnings.
Bunnings.
It's the largest hardware store in Australia, and you walk in there and there's always a sausage sizzle out the front because by the time you get in and you need to survive to get out. So, but yeah, Bunnings actually is a really good company. I ended up working for them for a couple of years. They looked after me when I was there. But yeah, it's the fact of the old style of looking after your customer, not your subsidiaries. She just got a mosquito. So,
All right, lovely people. I know that we are 15 minutes over, and everybody has done their final thoughts. I will say mine as well. Of course, I always say reach out and everything else. I personally have some sort of some issues as far as reaching back in a timely manner, but I try to do it as best as I can. Like Uncle Si was saying, is like if you're not hearing back from somebody, reach out to another. Reach out until you get that call that you got your backup and stuff like that. I highly encourage you to always reach out. I know that I had a frustrating day and a even more frustrating, exhausting week, and I actually said that I was going to update y'all with Tuco. His situation is pretty much we're on steroids and painkillers and hoping for the best.
Oh, poor tripod.
So at this point, we're hoping that this works. So yeah, he's just a youngin. Everything else, he did bite my finger last night. Well, he just a little bit. He's like this bish. trying to give him his pills with turkey and stuff like that. He got overexcited. So,
It's what
yeah,
dogs do.
and he's just a young pup. I'm trying to get through that and everything else. So I actually did want to bring that up earlier tonight, and I didn't. So, and we're way past time. So, thank you guys. Ducky, always welcome. Uncle Si, kittens, amazing. Love y'all. I we shall see you next
next
week
time.
here on the Crossroads.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much.